Hey everybody, this is Aaron the Pedantic. So I wanted to basically do a video to help people who have never played DCC before get started. So let's say you have somebody who's going to run a game. You're going to run a zero-level funnel. What do you need to know? This is the starting point. I'm going to show you everything that you need to know so you can feel comfortable. So I'm going to assume that you have played 5th edition before, because if you have heard of Dungeon Crawl Classics, you have heard of Dungeons and Dragons. If you've heard of Dungeons and Dragons, you're aware 5th edition exists. You've probably played it. You're probably familiar with how it works. Okay, so all you need to know to start with is basically you're playing 5th edition D&D, but you're taking a lot of stuff out and you're making things a little harder. When I say harder, I mean that your character is going to die more easily. But as a player, the game is a lot more simple. And this is as simple as it gets, the zero-level character funnel. You play multiple characters, you see which ones survive, if any, and then those become your first-level character. This is not something that everybody does, but whenever you do it, it's a lot of fun, and your players have a bunch of characters that have all gone through an experience together whenever you start your campaign. It's really cool. So let's create our first level 0 character. Once you've done it once, it is just painfully easy. You can do it in no time. So first thing we're going to do is roll ability scores. You know how to roll ability scores. All right, so in order, we got 10. Okay, so we got a 10. Now, a 10 has no modifier. That's the same as it is in 5th edition, but this is going to be different once we get to things that aren't 10. All right, 8. So an 8, and there is a chart for this. An 8 is going to be a -1. All right. So we have a 17. Goodness gracious, this is a character that needs to live. And with 17, they get a +2. The only way to get a +3 is for an 18. So this is really good start. And this is going to tell you exactly what kind of character you're probably going to end up playing by the end of it. A 12. I wish that I would have these kind of rolls normally. A 12 is unfortunately still no modifier. Okay. An 8. So they're kind of middling in a lot of ways, and that's fairly common for Dungeon Crawl Classics. A lot of, but fortunately, the game doesn't require you to have super high stats in order to be effective. Okay, so I rolled. I think it was a 5 or 6. It really doesn't matter. They're both. Well, actually, no, it does matter. Let me check. 6. Okay, 6 is going to be a -1. All right, so basically the way to remember it, I'm just going to put it for you here. A 3 equals a -3. A 4 to 5 equals a -2. A 6 to 8 wait, 6 to 8 equals -1. I did do that right, yeah. And then it's a bell curve, so it kind of continues in the same fashion. 9 to 12 equals 0. And you just kind of keep on. 13 to 15 equals +1. 16 to 17 equals +2. And if you 18 equals +3. Very simple. It seems weird at first, but it's really not that bad. Okay, determining 0-level hit points. Okay, 0-level hit points are going to be a D4, and then you add your stamina modifier. So I got 2, and I'm fortunate enough to have 4 maximum hit points now. So 2 + 2. Now I'm a 0-level character, so my saves are going to be purely derived from these things. Agility gives me my reflex save. Fortitude, it comes from stamina. Personality is where you get will. Okay, so that's done. Next thing on the list is we are going to... here's the thing I was talking about before. You don't have a class yet, so you don't need to worry about really much of anything yet. Okay, D30. Do I have a luck modifier? I have a -1. So I need to roll a D30. So I don't have a D30 in this list, but I still can do it. So here's what you do. Take a D20. All right, so I rolled an even number. So even is going to be plus 10. So I'm going to roll this again. 10 plus 10 equals 20. All right, so I rolled a 20, basically. Okay, 20. Struck by lightning, reflex saving throws -1. Oof. Oof. Okay, so go ahead and do this. Usually what people do is they tend to put their birth augur on here. Why is it not working? Whoop. All right. So I got all that stuff down. Now we're going to roll occupations. So occupation is a D100. Do they have a thing here? No, I don't want to do that. All right. Well, I'll just pick a number because, you know, right now, this thing doesn't offer. Oh, what am I doing? Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I'm ridiculous. Okay, so okay. So it's actually gonna be a 46 the way that I'm conceiving of that in my head because they don't have the percentile thing. So it's like, all right, this is gonna be. Well, no, that wouldn't be. That would be. Yeah, well, it's 64. 64 is fine. We'll just do that. Okay, so 64, and that will bring us to Halfling Vagrant. So copy. Whoop. And paste. Paste, I say. All right, fine, I'll type it. Since you insisted. All right. We're going to say, fuck it, you're going to be neutral. All right. Halfling Vagrant is going to get a club and a begging bowl. Now, club is a D6. I'm pretty sure it might be a D4, actually. All right. And then we're going to roll on the equipment chart. You get a random item off of the equipment chart. I passed it. There we go. Okay. Motherfucker. It's below. Let's go ahead and roll. You know, I mean, okay, so this is where it says how you start with 5d12 copper pieces. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom. 33 copper pieces. I'm rich. Why am I even doing this? I should not be adventuring. I should be investing. Okay. Then, okay, here we go. Club. So club is a D4. I was fairly certain that it was a little weaker in this. Actually, it might be a D4 in 5th edition also. All right. So we got that. That is there anything else? All right, so you're gonna start with a 10 AC modified by agility. So I have a 9 armor class. That's pretty bad. Not gonna lie. I'm a halfling, so because of that, my speed is 20. If I was a dwarf, it's also 20. If I was a anything else, it would be 30. All right, initiative is affected by my agility, unfortunately. Name is conventionally halfling vagrant, because a lot of times this character is probably not going to survive. You start at 0 XP. This is a complete character for Dungeon Crawl Classics to do a funnel, okay? And you have no attack bonus other than what your stats provide. You are basically able to use anything that you pick up. So if let's say you pick up a sword, you can use a sword. They used to, well, basically, once the game gets beyond 0 level, things are going to be a little different for you. They're a little bit more difficult. There's more things involved. But for the most part, this is what you need to know to get started. This is this is the first character. When your character hits 0 hit points, they're dead. Whenever you need to roll a saving throw, you just roll a d20 and add this. Whenever you are doing a melee attack, roll a d20, you add nothing. If you're doing a ranged attack, you subtract 1. Roll a d20, subtract 1. The begging bowl, it's there for you to figure out what to do with it. It could be any number of things that you end up doing with it. Did I end up rolling on that fucking chart? I don't remember if I ended up rolling on the chart. I didn't. Okay, so it's a D24. Again, this is an uncommon dice. If you don't have weird dice, then you can still do it. So what you do is you roll 2 D12s. All right, so the first one is to determine, is it odd or even? It's odd. So with odd, you do not add any numbers. If it was even, you'd add 12. That's to determine so you basically, you take the funky dice number, you cut it in half, and then if you can cut it in half, if it's odd, then usually you just roll. I'll explain in a second. But cut it in half, and then you you use that die. So in this case, it would be a D12 for a D24. You roll 2 D12s. The first one determines if you're going to be adding that number. Not this number, but if you add 12 to it or not. And then, so the answer was no. So because of that, you just use the 1. Let's do it again. Okay. Even. So that means I'm going to add 12. And then I got 12. So this is a 24. Let's do it again. Just making sure people understand. All right. So it's even. So I'm going to add 12. So that's going to be a 23. Not because of that, to ignore that. It's just because that's just how it turned out to be. Okay, now let's say I have to roll a D7 for some reason, because they tell me to. Okay, so what you do is you roll a D8. All right, so it's fine. You just keep on rolling it like it's normal. All right, I rolled an 8 on a D8, and I'm supposed to be rolling a D7. So you re-roll it. That's all you do. It's very simple. But you're probably not going to use funky dice on a 0 level adventure anyway, so probably not something you need to worry about. All right, I'll do another video going into the classes, showing you how to do all that kind of stuff. But just for shits and giggles, let's roll up another one. I forgot to do the thing. So the first thing I rolled, I think, was a 1. So a backpack. Start with a backpack. That's a really good thing to start with because they cost 2 gold pieces and they're very useful. And that's it. That's all you needed. So basically, when it comes to time to fight, you just whack them with a club. You might, throw a begging bowl at their face. Might collect something in the begging bowl and try and, that way to see if it's gonna burn your skin or something. You just have to be creative, and that's kind of how it plays along. All right, so let's do another one. And so, like I said, with a funnel, you usually have multiple characters. 3 or 4 is the norm. Okay, so we're gonna make another character. All right, 3d6. We got a 13, so that is going to be a +1. Already they are on by the way, the halfling is a demi-human. Because of that, they get their own class, so you You don't get to choose a class as a halfling. You are a halfling. That is your class. And you'll see that later. I'll do a video on it. Okay. Notice that you're just rolling 3d6. You're not rolling 4d6. All right. This is so far shaping up to potentially be a warrior, potentially be really anything so far. 8. 8 for stamina is not great. Oops. So that's a -1. 11. It's a 0. And that's not bad. Having a 0 is not a bad thing. Having a -1 is not a terrible thing either. Your characters are going to be below average, more likely than not. All right. On another 11, this character is very average. They could do just about anything okay. That is ridiculous. All right. No luck modifier. So I don't have to worry about the luck augury thing. Reflex save is going to be +1. Fortitude save is going to be -1. Will save is going to be 0. We'll say they're going to be chaotic. They are going to have a +1 on initiative. Let's roll their hit points. Whoa. All right, so 1 - 1 would be 0, right? But the lowest you can be is 1. So that means this person is hit 1 time. They are dead. And this happens a lot. A lot of level 0 characters have 1 hit point. That's one of the reasons that funnels are a lot of fun. It puts the fun in funnel. The fact that your characters just die like crazy. You're going to love it. Just trust me. Just trust me. It's especially if they're running like a published DCC funnel, they're hysterical and they're always going to be entertaining. I have to get to the occupation chart. La 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 la. I know all this stuff right here, but I need the chart. Okay. 100. D100. Okay. 10. All right, so the 10 is actually 0. So 0, 5, 5. 5 is our result. They are going to be a barber. So they get a razor and a pair of scissors. Barber. Razor. So a dagger is, interestingly, if you get to backstab with it, you do D10 damage as a thief. You have to be a thief to do that. Pair of scissors. Okay. So that is all that stuff. This means that this, I'm sorry, 11 is going to be the armor class because they have no armor and they have a +1 to agility. What else do we need? We need their equipment roll. I should have remembered the page number. Whoop. A little further, I think. No. Yes. There we go. Chapter 3, equipment, page 72. I need to remember that. Okay. Let's do the 5d12. 20 copper pieces. And okay. Now remember how we did it before. Odd or even, and then the number. Odd, no add, so it's just a 2. 2 is candle. All right. So you get a little bit of a light source. Got nothing to light it with. Hopefully somebody can help you with that. they are human because they didn't start with a normal thing. So they can become anything. Now, what would I do with this character after, assuming they survive? So clearly they could be an interesting warrior. They could be a thief quite easily, um, especially considering they have like not a bad amount of luck. Really, they could do anything. I might refrain from being a warrior with this slow stamina because of the fact that you're going to be having -1 at each level, but at the same time, Raspor does not exist. You can do what you want. So that's not what this video is about. So this is pretty much it. You do that until you have 4 characters, and then if any of them survive, then after that you build on top of it. This is your foundation. And let's say that you just don't have time to do all this. This is purplesorcerer.com. Fantastic website. Fantastic website. So look, it'll like, you can put all the stats in here. You can pull from all of these different source books that they've made, that DCC has, official and some unofficial. The dice method that, whatever is appointed by your judge, you can make it such that like you can't have a net of more than like a -2 in all of your ability score modifiers. You can make it where it filters them out. You can make it where they don't get more than a certain amount. You can change the hit point method, like the lucky signs, how many per thing, like in the format and all that kind of stuff, and then how many sheets you want. So like, let's say I want 10 sheets. Boom. Or 10 characters. Or no, this is 10 sheets. It's a lot. But look at all these. It's just done. Look at that. It's just done. You don't have to worry about it. No mess. It's just done. I've made several of these and I just like hand them to the players and I'm like, pick the set of 4 that you want. Like pick the page that you want because it has 4 per page, right? So I would just do that, and then it's like, well, those are the characters. Once we get past all this, then you get to choose one of them to be your level 1. That's it. That's the video, y'all. It doesn't take much, does it? Super easy. So I'm going to do more of these, and I'm going to show you how to do a fighter, how to do a cleric, how to do a thief, everything. Just because I want more people to play this system. So my apologies to people that already play it. You're probably going to be bored to death and not watching these videos. So take it easy. Hope you enjoyed it, and take care.